You know that bunch rot is coming. It's just a matter of the right conditions. We can offer you a forward-looking, biorational solution called Mevalone. It utilizes a novel, soft chemistry and truly unique mode of action.
Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with American Vineyard Magazine, reporting to you here today from Fresno County, the epicenter of raisin production for the nation. I'm here at the Raisin Bargaining Association annual meeting with some of its leadership here. Charles Salmon, he is the chairman, and one of our board members, Dwayne Cardoza, wanted to talk with you guys today about some of the things you mentioned with your growers here. You've done a lot of great work over the years in establishing a price, working with packers, making sure raisin growers get a fair price for their product. Also, government buys has been a big source of where our California raisins are going, making sure that they're actually going to the folks in the nation that really need them. The healthy product, and Dwayne, you've really spearheaded that, working with USDA on Section 32 purchases and some other programs as well. And one of the announcements you made in this meeting today was a major purchase that took place. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we were fortunate. The Raisin Administrative Committee asked the government to purchase up to $70 million worth of raisins. On March 5th, we were awarded, our packers were awarded approximately $31 million to start with worth of raisins, which equates to about a little over 10,000 tons of raw raisins. So we're very fortunate. We also thank the government for it. We're very appreciative. In fact, I talked to them and told them how much the raisin industry appreciated their participation, and that when are they going to send us the other $40 million. So that's kind of where we're at, and we're hoping to get another buy once everything is sorted out in Section 32 with all the other commodities. They should have some money left over, and we want to be the first ones in line.
That's great, especially, like with the new administration, there's been some concerns about federal budget cuts and where some of those cuts in funding might take place, and it's great to hear that that's not taking place at this time with our California raisin industry and the government food programs, especially for our children. So that's really great to hear. On some of the years past, we've been awarded quite a bit. As far as production tonnage that's been moved to these federal programs. So you anticipate more coming soon as well this year? Well,
I'm hoping that we can get another part of that Section 32. Right now, over the last 3 years, we've sold the government over $100 million worth of raisins. So that's to the raisin industry, that's quite substantial. And hopefully we'll just keep our fingers crossed, and we'll keep, we're putting together right now a possible trip to Washington, D.C. to meet the new administration and the people that are involved. We're still working with the same people that were there in the past. They've done a great job for us. And, we need to make sure we go back there and support the people that have been working with us. And I think we're going to have some very good successes with the new administration as well.
Now, looking at some of our carryover inventory, because that's been one of the reasons that we've gone into these federal programs is not only that they're nutritious product that has a good shelf life, whole fruit, a lot of pros to utilizing California raisins, but also to help our raisin industry, the health of it, make sure that we don't have too much carryover inventory. Now, our raisin industry really has transformed over recent years, and unfortunately, we've really declined in acreage and production. And the amount of growers, a lot of that has to do with economic struggles in remaining viable and competitive on the global scale, because other countries can produce things. It's not as good of a product, but they can do it at so much lower of a production cost, and that's been a challenge our growers are facing. That being said, with our carryover inventory this year and looking at prices for the coming year, growers were fairly happy, right, with how things fared this past year?
I believe so. We had the second highest price in the history of the industry, and we had 7 packers that signed our MOU, And I think the touch in the room was pretty confident, and they seemed like they were pretty happy and satisfied with what we had achieved last year.
That's great. Yeah, so moving into this coming year, what do we anticipate? I know it's really early. We've had bud break coming out. We're just getting started for the season. But what do we anticipate as far as, do we see price going up this year, remaining pretty stable? Our growers need good, strong economic viability to really move forward, right?
Yeah, correct. I mean, there's a lot of variables in there, Matthew. I mean, one of them is the amount of imports. You know, we're importing about 25 to 30,000 tons a year. So as we continue to import fruit, that means that our oversupply is going to maintain it where it's at, approximately 60,000 tons. So the lower the oversupply, the higher the price for the product. I've had some early conversations with some guys, and they agree with that philosophy. They're okay with that. I think it's a little early to figure out where we're going to be. I would love to see our price. I would say we would be very, very successful if we can maintain or maybe get a slight increase. But it's a little early. We don't have any idea what the crop's going to do yet.
Yeah, so if we've had an average of a little over 25,000 tons, right, of imported raisin grapes into the United States over the past 10 years. And that's for our raisin growers here in California who are working their butts off, you know, and to see that there's still carryover inventory. It's like, how does this work? I mean, we understand that our raisin industry has shrunk, and so there could be need for, you know, some of that coming in, you know, to keep our packers busy and having the inventory they need to sell. But, you know, with the new administration and potential tariffs, I know there's a lot of uncertainty there. But how do we see this potentially faring for our raisin industry? Is it going to have an impact on the amount of grapes or raisins that end up coming into the country, or, you know, potentially negative impacts on who we might want to market those raisins to that might be getting shut down?
Yeah, I don't think that, well, first of all, it's been happening for 10 years. So I don't really see where there would be anything all of a sudden on this 10th year of the records that we've looked at earlier, that all of a sudden it's going to be a big snafu and it's going to be a problem. I think it's going to maintain. I don't see any issues with the foreign countries that fruit's coming. I don't see where anything is going to drastically change. It's going to be the same. But the bottom line is, get rid of the foreign fruit that we're purchasing. That lowers our carry-in. That lowers our overall supply. That helps the farmer. And that's what it's all about. It's about helping the farmer. And if those two things happen, then that may increase the pricing that the farmer gets for his fruit.
Yeah, so you said carryover inventory right now as it stands is right around, what did you say we're at?
We're gonna be somewhere close to 70,000 tons worth of carry-in. On the import thing side of it, there's a lot of things that are working around the globe right now, and South Africa, who are buyers like our Kellogg's and our General Mills, and those people acquire, you know, fruit from South Africa. There's some real serious political strife in South Africa, which might end up causing the whole raisin market and the raisin industry to do another shift, because there could be not hardly any raisins coming out of South Africa. So we're just watching every little thing, and I know we talk to our packers all the time, and they're conscious of what's going on. They're headed next week. We have a meeting with the Japanese in Japan. They're our biggest customers. So we got to see where they're at. They're very loyal to us. They like our product, and we give them good quality. And Japanese are very traditional about, you know, maintaining good quality. So, and that's what we grow. As far as tariffs and stuff, you know, our president has talked about the European Union. Well, the European Union has not been loyal to us. We hardly put any raisins into the European Union, especially into Germany. We used to sell a lot of raisins to Germany and the UK, and now we're not selling anything to them.
They're sourcing their raisins from other countries, huh?
Yeah, they're getting most of their product from Turkey because they buy it cheap. The Turkish growers are subsidized by the government to grow their raisins, so they're able to sell the raisins to the European Union a lot cheaper than we can grow them. So it makes it a difficult situation for us.
That is a challenge. It really be nice, I think, to have a California first mentality as far as, selling raisins, in the United States. Like that seems like it'd make most sense. But I think the federal funding that you're getting, the purchases, the government purchases, that really kind of helps with that California first mentality and getting that precedence established. I think you guys are doing a great job there. And you mentioned you've been working with Sunmade and some other organizations on making these trips to DC and making this happen. So great work. Keep it up. Read more about these things in American Vineyard Magazine. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.